Happy Scorpio full moon, lunar eclipse, Aries. That was a little bit of a mouthful. This is Kapualani, and I've got your girl and her moon full moon reading here for the month of May. So, Aries, let's see what we see here. Okay, first up, your message from the universe. Okay, Three of Wands. I'm hearing look ahead. That's the words that I'm getting. Just look ahead. Things are starting to come together. The visions that you've been holding, and or at least what you have been carrying forth thus far, I'm hearing contacts and or people, places. There's things that are coming to meet you somewhere in the middle, and that's part of the message that I'm getting right now, Aries. So I feel like I'm getting, especially with all of the incredible activity that we have, the energetic celestial stuff that we're just so loaded with right now. It's a really good time to just kind of keep your pace, find your pace yourself. Where pace hasn't sort of been considered, just sort of mind that, because again, there is a divine, I didn't say this part, but there's a divine timing to things. And I did say this part, though. There are whatever it is that you are working toward in terms of next steps, in terms of a feeling at least a firm establishment of yourself and where you're going. It's coming. Okay, the information is coming. What will this particular full moon lunar phase bring into your awareness? Yeah, slowing down. You've come a long way. It's giving you a moment to catch up and catch your breath. You might be feeling a little like exhausted, a little beat up. And so, perception wise, it can be a little difficult to gauge like, okay, is this a moment where I push through? Is this a moment where I back off? What do I do here? And so, whenever, if ever, you approach a situation that leaves you feeling a little bit like question mark, Aries, this is kind of giving you that advice to take that moment, look back at previous experiences. You have come a long way. So don't forget what you have actually accomplished at this point. And so, again, use those previous experiences to lean on, okay, as reference points in terms of guidance and where to go, how to project yourself and your energies moving forward, or at least just, of course, what's coming up right now. Okay. What will you need to potentially revisit in this cycle? Yeah, the Fool. So I feel like part of this Fool energy is that ability to sort of just pick yourself up and dust yourself off. Again, I feel like you might be a little bit exhausted. You've come a long way. Maybe your head is actually feeling a little tired, stressed. I don't know if you're actually having headaches lately, or something around, you know what I mean? Attention, things with the neck, spine, but your head mainly. But anyway, this is going back to lightening things up, surrendering to the universe, and just allowing for that inner child to take the lead, that lamb, side of the sheep ram for the Aries. It's saying to just revert to that sort of okay, like, nothing in the mind, like the emptiness of the mind, and just being, that doesn't mean like, emptiness in a positive way, where you can be present and focused on the moment and really stepping into the powerful moment of now type thing. And again, I'm hearing that like when in a little bit of doubt, lean on your previous experiences, but look at it with new eyes, in a way. Look to those new experiences from a new perception. Because sometimes when you're exhausted, and you're looking back, you're just thinking about how exhausted you are already. It's like, oh gosh. And that's why it's saying, look on the, not like just dismissively, oh, look on the brighter side, but truly, look to that lighter, brighter side and be willing to continue to move forward, even if and where you do feel a little bit tired or more down. So let's get some advice for a smooth full moon. That being said, Okay, Four of Pentacles. So revisit where you might be feeling a bit insecure, where you might be a little risk averse, okay, risk averse, and or clinging a bit too much to your current circumstances and or like codependencies to certain habits, certain figures, people, relationships, that sort of thing. There's something here about renewal, and there's something here also with that advice. To brighten things up. It's not saying to just abandon, and that codependency is negative. It's not negative. You can bring it into a healthy, harmonious state. But it's saying to revisit it to see where perhaps you could brighten and lighten things up so that it's not so mundane and so habitual. That there is a present awareness there. We're bringing the brightness into perspective here. Okay. And also pay attention to what really helps you to feel grounded, anchored. I tend to see the Four Pentacles at times are day to day habits and patterns. And so that's where, again, revisiting your habits and patterns and just seeing where you can make some adjustments, where you can maybe loosen up, maybe put a little bit more focus, whatnot. All right. What sort of vacation? What sort of downtime is your soul craving? Yeah, the star. I'm hearing like you are ready to rise up. You're ready to just kind of be in your own world, be in your own element, do your own thing, be in your own show. Like we know that we're like technically the stars of our own shows, in our lives and our life stories. And you're ready to really shine. You are ready to just, I'm getting this feeling of like just not really have too much of a care in the world. You're ready to have an anchor point so that you can rise to the next level. And you're very aware of that. You're aware that there isn't any I'm not feeling a huge amount of like freaking out or stress or whatnot, Aries. It's more about just that readiness in your fire, that Aries fire. It's like, okay, let's go, you ready, let's go. I was ready like 5 years ago, come on, let's go. So and so, again, as just some guidance, remove yourself from distractions, really get involved, in hyping yourself up and really seeing yourself as the star of your own show and embodying what that means to you, and just allowing for that energy to guide you accordingly. And don't give up on your long term goals, because more than anything, Aries, the star is about faith and hope in your long term goals, visions, and dreams. Okay, so have a blessed and bright lunar eclipse, full moon cycle. Visit with us, girlundermoon.com. You know what to do to schedule a private session of your very own. And don't forget to check out your moon and rising signs as well for some added guidance and info. Okay, so take care. Have a good one. Brightest lunar blessings, Taurus. This is Kapualani, and I am here with your girl and her moon. Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse for the month of May. Look at that, Two of Cups, Taurus already. So there's these energies and gateways of fulfillment, of reflecting and feeling good within yourself first and foremost. Okay, energies dealing with, I feel, and I don't know why I'm present to these just house home relationships and the way that you are reflecting about them and the way that you feel in that regard, or how it's completing you and or leaving you feeling incomplete for that matter. So let's get to this, Taurus. All right. Your message from the universe, first and foremost, boom, bullseye, Ace of Pentacles. Focus. Okay. I've had really good vibes for you, Taurus. And, I don't know if you've been paying attention to any of the, predictions coming through for you this year, but I've been present to a lot of positive change and a lot of positive stuff coming your way. So I love that we're seeing this Ace of Pentacles in terms of your message from the universe. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself first and foremost is the key here that I'm getting, that message that I'm getting. And so this is just in all regards when we talk about the physical, your physical health and body, house and home, where you plant those seeds of possibility, potential for the future that you are looking to manifest and co-create. Okay, Taurus. So, and on top of it, what I feel is you are at the center of it. You are already aware, and if you aren't clear on what those areas are feeling or looking like, vibing for you, you are going to become very clear on those areas during this lunar phase. Okay, so let's see what this full moon energy is going to be bringing to your awareness. Look at that. Mother of Pentacles. Boom. Yes. Prioritizing your happiness, health, like I said, physical from the inside out. So this is really nice stuff here again. So like when I was shuffling earlier and I felt, okay, relationship and house and home type stuff, and here it is. So there's going to be, I feel like you're going to be in a space to also pay attention to the growth and wherever you feel and see or recognize as being extensions of yourself. So if you have a business, that would be, as that extension of yourself professionally. Children, of course, your spouse or partner, house, just things like that, on that very physical aspect. I feel like being in that place to really see it and not, you know what I mean? See it, feel it, live it. It's going to come like full circle for you during this full moon lunar phase. Okay, lunar eclipse energy. So I love this for you. Oh my gosh, look at this, Taurus. Huh. What you might need to revisit. Look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture. Right now it's saying that, of course, like anything else, and that's just Taurus energy, that practicality, which is why I love Taurus. Very practical and like here now, hands-on, tangible, And so it's saying, don't forget to look at that bigger picture because, you might actually be at a place in your life where when you take a look at relationships, house, home, and whatnot, you're like, no, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty comfortable. Not everything. And there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. However, and I should say, and I get the sense Spirit's giving me the feeling that you also have been getting vibes, little vibbles of, saying, hey, little pokes and prods from Spirit, the universe. And that's where you might be like, I don't know what's out there. And that's your higher self. Those are your guides. That's the universe saying, hey, let's take a step back. And part of it is also to appreciate how far you've come, appreciate what you have managed to not only establish, but what you've managed to maintain and sustain for a while. Okay, Taurus, like the success that you have with house home relationships, this is not something that's just suddenly brand new. You know what I mean? Like this didn't just happen. This is something that you have managed to master like throughout your life. I don't care how old you are watching this. Okay, there's something here about being in a position where you can truly look back on how far you've come and feel good about it. Feel good about both your inner world, your day to day, and your bigger picture, your life journey, your life story. Okay, that's big, that's huge. I love it. Okay, let's get some advice. I mean, I'm loving your reading, Taurus. Can you tell? Advice for a smooth full moon transformation. Yes, allow for the changes. I know, Taurus. I get it. Big sign. And, it's like change. What? Like I said, those vibbles, those vibes, you can feel the changes. You can feel the turning of the tides cosmically, universally, collectively. And so it's saying to just allow and embrace. And I feel like the actions that you are being led to take are very just like, mundane, practical, basic things. It's nothing too shocking or exciting. There may be some very like highlight things happening right now for you. And if so, reach out to us. We're here for you. You know what I mean? Definitely. So there are changes and transitions that you are experiencing, life changes, all of that stuff. So be with that. It might be uncomfortable, okay? But just recognize that that's what it is. That's what's happening. It's just the turning of the tides. You know what I mean? So, what type of downtime is your soul craving? Look at that. Two of Pentacles. So you're ready to kind of get things moving, but get things moving at your own pace, of course. And with the Two of Pentacles, there's this balancing act in a way, finding your wings, finding your feet. It's almost like if you were this doe and fawn, the fawn sleeping, and that's great. The doe is just like, okay, I'm just gonna be here and let my fawn, like, just lean on me type thing, of course, right? Unconditional love. And then when it's time to get up, it's like, oh my god, my legs, pins and needles, pins and needles. So it's like you gotta give yourself a little bit of time to get the circulation going and not rush anything, okay? Take your time, focus on the step by step process. And the circulation, so physical circulation, if you've been physically stagnated for a minute, just be mindful to get up and just stretch your legs, go for a walk, whatnot. It's nothing too strenuous. And again, it's also recognizing that there are physical life changes that are happening, like those growing pains and whatnot. But at any rate, Taurus, please do check your moon and rising signs, visit with those to get some added extra insight. All three are very much beneficial, and just see what resonates. But otherwise, visit with us as well, girlonourmoon.com, to schedule a session of your very own. So thanks so much for being here. Take care. Till next time. Hey Gemini, this is Kapualani, and I am here with your girl and her moon Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse reading for the month of May. So Gemini, let's see what's up, shall we? Okay, your message from the universe, Gemini, Temperance. Okay. I wanted to, like, I heard slow down, and then, like, when I was about to say it, Spirit's like, so I'm there's definitely something that you have been contemplating and considering for a while. And I get the sense that you may have tried to make attempts to put something forth in the past, or try to make something happen in the past, or put yourself out there in the past. But it was like, for whatever reason, it's like, ooh, okay, well, that didn't exactly go. So let's just think about this again. It's like a reconsideration of things that had to happen. And it's I don't necessarily see temperance as second chances, but it's about being in a state of mind, a state of awareness that we are slowing down to process and take time to really understand and integrate our, like, I'm getting at this point, desires and feelings, like the fire and the water, the energies of passion and that energy of, like, I want to say harmony is coming to mind, because that flow of water. And so anyway, we're not going to, like, further digest that. It's just about you coming into this space where you're surrendering to your higher self and the process to sort of guide you here in whatever may be still yet unseen, or that you haven't quite figured out yet. That's what I'll say. Yeah, Gemini. So, what will this lunar cycle bring into your awareness? Wow, the bigger picture. You may likely, I mean, I feel like you already know this, Gemini, but you're very much surrounded by spiritual support. And in this case, it's like I feel your angels and guides, your spirit teams, ancestors, the universe is really making it apparent that they see you. Okay. And it's not supposed to be like a freaky thing. They see you. But it's in that sense where, those times where we feel like we're just all alone on our journeys and just in our minds, even though we know, right, that we're not alone spiritually, energetically, soulfully. We know we're not alone, but still, yet in our minds and on our paths in our day to day can feel very much lonely or isolating or like we are alone. And so there's this big message coming forth that no, you are very much loved, protected, you are very much watched over. And those areas where things have eluded you, or maybe you've kind of felt like you stumbled and kicked yourself, or you know what I mean, where they say you've stubbed your own toe kind of thing, or whatever it is, this is the time to sort of, I'm hearing like rewind and redo. And it's not about starting over on a clean slate and like a Groundhog Day type thing. I don't know if you know that expression, not just trying to redo the same day over and over again type thing at all, Gemini, but it's about taking the time to see things from a higher perspective, taking the time to understand your intentions and desires and your emotional feeling, the emotional aspect of things, not just like from a clinical perspective. And that's not a bad thing, but from that well rounded whole experience. Okay. So, what you may need to revisit. Oh, patience. Wow, look at these major arcana showing up for you, Gemini. So, this is going to be, I'm hearing patience, tolerance, looking at the bigger picture, and understanding that sometimes to get what you want, it really is about, I'm just going to get clear cut with it. They're saying knowing better. Sometimes to get what you want, it's about understanding that you've been around the block. You are not the person, you're not the person that you used to be. You know better by now what to do and what not to do. Okay. And it's not about, and in this case, there's something about like opening up to the feeling and the interactive human experience, and not so much like the emperor has to be isolated and detached from feeling, and the emperor is very much mobile and takes action, because we got the sun here, but otherwise the emperor has to remove themselves, and so in some cases I'm hearing even you might have to really balance and understand where you are allowing for certain unhealthy emotional attachments to manipulate or distort your sense of things, and where you need to come more into your own heart space, your own sense of things on a bigger picture. Okay, so advice for a smooth full moon. Son of Pentacles, yeah. Step by step, look at your experience, be with your experience, and really take the time to engage. And the best way that I can put this is like when you're sitting down having a meal, right? People get distracted, they have conversations, they're on their phone, blah, 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 blah. This is saying, listen, take the time to really be present to your meal, smell the aroma, look at the, you know what I mean, be visual, do the whole thing, the whole experience. And then as you're eating your food, really taste the flavors and savor it, and or just see like, okay, wow, this is very fulfilling, this is unfulfilling. Wow, like what kind of feelings does it conjure? You know what I mean? What kind of thoughts does it bring up? And know that, like, commit yourself and understand that where you are on a journey. It does have a destination. And so any part of you that's been a little bit too rigid or too by the book, you can loosen up and set yourself free a little bit. Like the empire is not going to collapse because you've left the throne, to go and like have a little, journey or something. The empire, its empire is like shifting. And so let's see what sort of vacation or downtime your soul is craving. Yeah, you want to be, there's happiness, wishes, and fulfillment. You've accomplished all this stuff, Gemini. It's like, when do you get to really like bask in the simplicity of really feeling that sense of joy and fulfillment and gratitude, rather than just saying, oh no, I am grateful, la la la. It's like, no, like reveling in it and being in this space of, when I see the Nine of Cups, it opens things up to like that dream like space, that dream like quality. And so there's something here, Gemini, where you're being encouraged to let loose where you've been a little bit too rigid, perhaps. It's not that you're supposed to just be irresponsible and hurt people or anything, of course, not that you're going to do that, but it's about really allowing yourself to reflect on what's making you happy at this point. Like maybe what has run its course, like, yeah, it used to bring you happiness, and you revisit it because it's like a habit, or it's just that connection that you built. But when you take a moment to stop and get caught up with who you are and where you see yourself going, who you see yourself becoming, this is where it's saying you have a very like big opportunity here to revisit some of that and maybe open the way for either some change to happen, where things may have run flat, or where the connection may be not, as sustainable, maintainable, or where it's no longer supporting you, like certain habits, or certain foods, drinks, certain things that we, you know what I mean, that we once brought us joy and fulfillment. It's about seeing and like being present to all of that and having that opportunity to really connect and decide, am I taking this with me, am I leaving this behind? So Gemini, have a blessed lunar cycle. Don't forget to visit your moon and rising signs and check us out, girlonhermoon.com, to schedule a session of your own. So take care, have a good one. Thanks for being here. Happy Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse, Cancer. Kapualani here with your girl on her moon full moon reading for the month of May. Let's see, Cancer, what the cards have in store for you this month. Okay. Your message from the universe. Wow, the sun. Things are looking up, Cancer. I don't know if it's been very stressful, or I think the word dire is coming to mind for some reason. But you can, try to just breathe and look on the brighter side. Even if it doesn't look like that on the surface, Spirit is saying that things are going to work out in the end. I don't know why, like, please, I'm just the messenger here. But that's a big time where I'm getting that, I'm hearing set yourself free. Where things might be a little bit too intense, like, you don't, I don't know why they're being this visual or using this kind of an example, Cancer, but I think of, again, I always go to that crab, energy, and the sun that's shining, on the sand, and you can go and sun yourself to like warm up, but you don't want to like bake in the sun and burrow. So that's why, the crabs, they burrow in the sand. And so there's something here where it's saying if you've been burrowing and hiding out for a while, it's time to come out and get some sun. It's time to stretch your legs and experience the joy in life, especially if you've been plugging away at things for a minute. So, you know what I mean? Really like working and not getting that balance of like your personal life and things, you know what I mean? And having a little bit of joy and fun and whatnot. So what will this full moon bring into your awareness? Full moon lunar eclipse. Okay, so doing things differently, and I'm hearing like you might be in this space where, oh my gosh, I don't know why, but I'm hearing revisiting certain thoughts. No, yeah, there's things that are going to be revealed, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like so scary, is the point. Okay, I feel like in some way I almost get that maybe you're going to be, there's some things that are going to be confirmed, validated, as well as like you might be surprised, Cancer, that you may realize that you've forgotten that there are certain skills, talents, and or like things, information that you might know, or connections that you may have. It's like you're gonna be reminded that there's things like that you've accrued over time that you may have forgotten about. And so that's where I'm like saying, okay, you're being reminded of something here. Not everything is as it seems. So I'm almost getting, excuse me, like, don't judge things or situations too harshly at this time. You're very sensitive. And so just because you might be picking up something like negative energy from someone, don't assume that the negative energy is about you right off the bat. Okay, because there could be a whole other slew of things that's going on. And and it's also, and to be fair, it's not to just say, oh, dismiss it if you get a really bad stinky vibe from somebody, but it's about understanding that there are layers going on. And so try to just remove yourself, and it's not about just ignoring it, but understand that things will come full circle. Okay, things will come full circle, and it's not what you do but how you do it, not what you say but how you say it. So what will you need to potentially revisit? Yep, Ace of Swords, look at that. Resolving conflict and using your own sense of, I'm hearing like self-confidence and skill to discern things. There may have been like an argument or a situation that perhaps you thought was resolved, and I don't know why, but there's something again. You might have to go back to take a look at something. You may have to look at things with a bit more of a diligent eye or mindset. Okay, so there's something here with revisiting something and using discernment. Okay. I'm going to stick with this for a second because I feel like during this lunar eclipse, the biggest message that I feel for you right now, Cancer, is that things are going to be working themselves out. Whatever it is that needs working out, it's going to be getting worked out, okay? So, advice for a smooth full moon, yeah, patience. You may have to work at it. Don't give up. I'm hearing time is on your side, so take this time to tie up the loose ends and to, it's almost like as if you were doing your paperwork or contracts or taxes or whatnot, and you may have to kind of like go back and look things over. But I don't know if it's necessarily something on that scale, let's just say. It could be a conversation with somebody, for example. But in this case, again, it's saying that you're going to have to go back, retrace, refine your steps. If there's something that maybe you feel you lost or misplaced, it's saying to, like, you have the means of figuring it out. So there, it's almost like a little scavenger hunt with us right now, Cancer. Thanks for bearing in there. But let's see what kind of vacation, what sort of break or downtime your soul is craving. Yeah, you want to have control again. You want to just be able to like chill out and sit on your throne and look over your empire and not have to worry about a thing and feel like, okay, I'm not going to have to be scurrying about and, feeling like there's something eluding me anymore. So whatever it is that might be that question mark for you, Cancer, this lunar phase number 1, there may be something that's going to come up for you that creates a question mark, but one way or another it's going to be resolved, and it's something that you're being encouraged to put time and effort into it. Okay, so all that being said, don't forget to visit with your rising and moon signs just for a bit of added guidance and insight. Check us out, girllettermoon.com. If, excuse me, if you'd like to schedule a session of your own. So thank you so, so much for being here. Have a good one. Take care. Leo, what is up? Many blessings. Full moon, Scorpio, full moon, lunar eclipse blessings. Leo, this is Kapualani. I'm here with your girl and her moon full moon reading for the month of May. I hope this finds you well. Let's see what we've got. Okay. Your message from the universe, Leo. Three of Pentacles. Okay, so things are coming together, and where you may feel there is a missing element or missing piece, this is where you're going to get some perspective. Okay, I like that actually we're opening up with this Three of Pentacles for you, Leo, and I'll tell you why. I tend to really vibe with this energy as a positive energy. The things like, with threes, it speaks of past, present, and future. So that's where I'm, trying to say the things that you have been trying to make happen, but that haven't been yet in a space to solidify, to come into the 3D. And that's how I see this sometimes with the Three of Pentacles. During this cycle, this lunar cycle, you're going to feel things opening up, and things becoming solidified. So whatever it is, those missing components and or the pieces that maybe weren't missing but just weren't ready to connect and to come together for that bigger picture, that longer term destination, that bigger goal that you have, it's going to start to come together. So I feel like, yay, like, I don't know, I just get like this really positive energy in that for you. So fingers crossed. Let's see what this lunar cycle will be bringing into your awareness. Nice. Nine of Pentacles. Look at this. 3 and 9. Very powerful numbers and energies of manifestation, co-creation. Okay, so in the Nine of Pentacles, with the Nine of Pentacles, excuse me, it's gonna help you. I mean, this energy is going to reflect back to you a sense of accomplishment and independence, feelings of getting yourself together. Again, where you have been trying to get the pieces together, where you've been holding space and waiting for the right people, places, situations to connect, to be ready to connect, this is where you're going to start to feel it all and see it all coming together. Okay, you're going to see that you have a lot more abundance, prosperity, possibility, potential available to you, and that you have working on your behalf, than you may realize. And so it's nice because it's almost like starting to feel things solidify, and like you can sort of breathe again in wherever money, finances, physical wellness, well-being is concerned. Okay, this is a card of, I feel, wealth, prosperity, and again, very strongly feelings of independence, independent wealth. Okay, so what you need to revisit, or what you may need to revisit. Five of Swords. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. There are some energies here, Leo, that are kind of reminding us to just be kind. I always say this when I see the Five of Swords, maybe not always, but most of the time. Be kind to your mind. Be discerning, okay? If and where you get some maybe like negative energy or anxiety, or I just feel like fear-based, or competition, competitive based thoughts or energies, like in the mental aspect of things. So like when it deals with people, like, ooh, I don't know, like trusting others, or you know what I mean, that kind of thing, or trusting circumstances. This is just saying to be mindful to your core dialogue, your self dialogue, and just do your best to breathe, remove yourself, and try to see things for what they are. And again, realize that you may have more of an advantage than you're giving yourself credit for, or than you're actually recognizing. So it's about being in a space where you can, any energies of lack mentality, that you've been trying to work through, or that, you know what I mean, that you haven't been sort of, no, this is something that you've already recognized. So that's where it's saying, don't judge yourself, your circumstances, or those around you too harshly at this time. Recognize that you're further ahead, and also don't be afraid to take those steps, and to, when it comes to sometimes being the person that has to make the tough decisions, that's where it's saying, like, don't be afraid to make those difficult choices that maybe others were not ready to make. Okay, so Let's get some advice for a smooth lunar cycle, judgment. Yeah, rising out of the dark into the light. There's going to be new cycles of limitless possibility potential opening up. Okay, what you have been struggling with, what you have been working through, anything that's brought you anxiety and grief or just stress, this is going to be a space to really set yourself free. And so, whatever actions that it takes, whatever pieces that need to come together, for example, to help shift those things into reality, that's where you're being encouraged to not be afraid to take certain steps and actions, and to allow for these energies to support you, these energies that are encouraging you and reminding you that second chances are possible, new beginnings are possible, even if and where you have been really struggling and or in the dark. Okay, so let's now get the page turn here. What sort of vacation, what sort of downtime is your soul craving? Yeah, you just want to breathe. You just want to breathe. You want to move on. You want to move forward. You want to get out of that kind of, I want to say like scary. And then I heard maybe scarcity mindset, and just be, I want to say like almost like cruise control again, being able to breathe easy and to feel at ease in that, Leo. And so, um, give yourself time to really add things up from the ground up. Sorry to have, said that, use that word twice, but truly, take a sort of look at things with a hands on, applicable, actionable, sort of perspective, and be open to the support that's coming through right now, because you're gonna get through it and things are gonna start to feel lighter and you will start to feel stronger again. And I'm feeling it the closer that we get to your season. Okay, so Leo, have a good one. Don't forget to check out your rising and moon signs for some added guidance and insight, and also visit us girllettermoon.com to schedule your own session, okay? A session of your very own. So take care. Thanks for being here. Hey Virgo, happy Scorpio full moon, lunar eclipse, a big mouthful. But this is Kapualani, and I've got your girl and her moon, full moon reading here for the month of May. So Virgo, let's see what we've got. Okay. Let's get your message from the universe. Nine of Pentacles. You're doing a really good job and you should be proud of yourself, Virgo. I feel like with this Nine of Pentacles, this is a very you card. I feel like this Nine of Pentacles is a very like Virgo energy in a way. With the, I just, when we think of the Virgo with the star and that Virgin energy and wealth and finer things. I don't know why, but I just feel like this is going to be a time where you should be feeling pretty good about yourself and what you've managed to establish. Like when you look in the mirror, you should feel very proud of yourself and how far you've come. Any work that you've been doing on your life, on yourself, on your health, physically, again, because this is that physical connection, the earth element, as well as career, finances. I feel this is also dealing with your ability to take your ability to take care of yourself, house, home, the whole thing. And so that's what I mean about that kind of, that sort of Virgo energy with all those boxes checked, and so you can feel very good about what you are establishing for yourself, what you are working on, and how far you have come, up to this point. Okay, so let's see what this full moon lunar eclipse will be bringing to your awareness. Okay, nice. Things are going to feel much brighter and lighter for you, Virgo. You're going to start to see that you do have people with good intentions, okay? That there are people who are really cheering for you. This is a time where you are also yourself going to feel, a little bit more likely, if and where you may not have been too desirous of being social. You may feel that energy to get out there. It doesn't mean that you're like gonna be in this space to be partying and all this stuff, but it's just about getting that energy moving again is what I'm hearing for some reason. So I don't know if you have had a healthy social life, Virgo, like, don't even worry about it. This is something that deals with, like, I feel that this is telling me you've been working on establishing a lot of things, maybe just from the ground up, and so things are going to be, the energies, the tides are turning, and it's going to be a lot more welcoming, where even if you were very social, you'll feel a lot more relaxed. You'll be able to relax a bit more. You'll be able to actually enjoy yourself a bit more. Not that you weren't enjoying yourself at all, but just being in that space where you can chill and breathe. Okay, so what you may need to revisit just says, okay, let things happen. And I don't know why, but I'm hearing also letting things, certain things be. I get this like the message that you know what to do and when to do it. You know how your actions have the ability to affect things. When you do something and push something into motion or put something into motion, I'm hearing that you do have an awareness of your own, like your core power. And so in this case, it's saying like, just realize that things are actually coming full circle. I think of like the grains of sand, like when you think of justice and the scales of balance. And I think of Virgo with the grains of sand, just like as earth energy, mutable. So this is going to be a time to really take a step back and shift. Like there's something here where I feel almost like this overnight shift in mentality, this overnight shift in perspective that's going to be happening during this phase for you, where maybe you've been working on something and working on something and working on something, and then all of a sudden you're going to switch gears. Then it's like, boof, okay, now we're going to just go, and I'm ready to just shift to that next thing. And I don't mean to be so about it, but there's something here where things are getting balanced, and you're going to start to feel a lot better about not having to put in as much effort. So advice for a smooth full moon, 4 of Pentacles. So stay grounded. Remember, I feel like, yeah, we should still be, I believe we're still in Mercury retrograde, so remember that we are still being influenced by some of that energy as well. So if there are, whatever new beginnings, you know how it goes with Mercury retrograde, but any of that new stuff that you're wanting to implement, it's kind of more saying to prepare. Just kind of stabilize, stay focused on either, keep getting your core foundations established. Okay, so I don't know why, but I'm getting this feeling of like where you have been experiencing gains, keep it up but simplify. You know how, like, when somebody, let's just say for example, you're living at home with your parents and you're trying to get a big break, and then you get your big break. It's like, don't just get the big break and then spend all that money. You know what I mean? You blow all that money, and then it's like, how are you going to maintain and sustain your life, right? You didn't just do that to have to go back again. And so that's where it's saying, take it slow and take this time to really establish yourself, establish your foundations in terms of your finances, in terms of your day to day, in terms of, not yet making or taking any of those next level leaps, but rather preparing for it by stabilizing your core foundations here and now. Okay, so let's see what type of downtime or break your soul's craving. Yeah, recovery. 5 of Cups. So, with this 5 of Cups, like, I'm hearing, look to the future. Like, there's still happiness. There's still a future ahead for you. There's still a future happiness that's in store for you. Even though this may not be that big launch period and you may have had some significant disappointments in the past, I'm seeing that you're ready. You're ready for happiness. You're ready to move forward. You're ready to heal from the past. It's not about forgetting about it, but you're ready to really start to open up and step into those new cycles. And so, again, you are on your way to where you want to be, and to stabilize that reality, to really make sure that that reality, when you get there, you're able to maintain and sustain it. Right now, you just want to be right here, and right now, and focus on, again, what you need to do to sort of set up your core foundations. And I'm sorry to keep using that same phrase and those expressions and everything. But I feel like that's not a bad thing at all. It's a good thing, because it's what's going to give you that vehicle to sort of build yourself up again, or at least build yourself, build your pace, to continue on with the next phases, the next leg of the journey. Okay. So, Virgo, check out your moon and rising signs, get some deeper insight and guidance. And please do visit with us, girlandhermoon.com, to take a deeper look into things with a reading of your own. So thank you so much for being here, sending so much light and blessings your way. Till next time, take care. Libra, this is Kapualani. Happy Scorpio full moon, lunar eclipse, by the way. But I am here with your girl and her full moon reading for the month of May. So I do hope this finds you well. Let's see what we've got here. Okay. First up, your message from the universe. What do you need to hear from the universe? Slow down, take a breath, take a beat. Okay. This is going to be a time for you to really consider your options, really consider your steps, really consider and catch up with who you are, how far you've come, where you're at, before pouncing forward. There are things to be balanced out right now. There's things that you don't really want to rush right now. And this is a period in time where, I understand that there's urgency and deadlines and things, and there's moments where we do have to rush. But in the grander scheme of things, where you're wanting things to be, where you're wanting to go and evolve, this is just I'm hearing like, this is a catalytic period. This is a period of integration, and where things are taking time to connect before moving on to the next round, basically. So this is a significant time. It's almost like if you were making a stew, you know how they say when you let it sit overnight, it tastes better than the day before. It's something like that. So that's where they're saying you don't want to rush the process, because even if it's like exciting and you get what you want and you're like, well, why wait till tomorrow? It's like, because trust me, if you just give it one more day, if you give it just a little bit more time and let it sort of work itself out, the results will be better in the end. Okay, so let's see what this full moon will be bringing into your awareness. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. So this is going to bring that awareness of not just new opportunities, but I'm getting the perspective and knowing where you would like to invest yourself. And if that's something where it's like, okay, we're working things out, we're taking time, it's also about acknowledging and seeing how, by investing ourselves today and giving things time to grow and develop, we'll be better off. We'll have so much more of an advantage. We'll get so much more ahead of ourselves than we would have otherwise, you know? So it's almost like same thing with like investing. So I don't know if that's something that's been coming up for you literally, if it's actually financial investing. Or like, oh, do I hold on to the money? Do I do something with this? It's almost saying, you know, in certain situations, like with savings and whatnot, right? It just accrues interest. And, you know, yeah, there's all these other stipulations around it. But in the grand scheme of things, you could be earning money on that money that would otherwise just be sitting in your account, right? So something like that, something to that effect, or even literally what you might be considering right now. Okay. Well, you may need to revisit. Okay, I'm hearing like the value of not just what brings you joy, but not allowing, like, not staying stuck in, for whatever reason, I'm getting when you have new beginnings, don't let the past hold you back. Don't let what's the word that I'm, nostalgia. Don't let nostalgia hold you back or hold you up from making progress. Okay? So there's something here also with, okay, hold on, let me tune in, slow down. Slowing, yeah, they're saying slowing down as well to water, because I think often of the Six of Cups being taking the time to harmonize, balance, and align ourselves emotionally, paying attention to our relationships, of course. Okay. So yes, where there's investments, where there have been also certain or things that you've been considering, if and where there are investments that you've already made, whether it's financial and or whether they are, yes, relationship based, there are things that are going to be coming up for you to not only revisit, but taking things into consideration. So I don't know why, but I'm really present to the costs and benefits of certain connections from the past, or certain habits, even maybe certain habits of yours from the past that are no longer serving, and or maybe there were positive habits that you had, and that it's like it's a good time to revisit and consider re-implementing. Okay, so let's get some advice for a smooth lunar cycle. The Hierophant. I'm hearing do your due diligence, do your research, get the guidance and advice necessary if that's what it will take for you to help you to feel confident and or gain the perspective, the information necessary to make you know, just those confident decisions for whatever is coming next. Okay, do your research, apply yourself. Yeah, take the time to slow down and look back where it makes sense, where that energy would resonate for you. But it's almost like when you look back, it's because you've grown and you matured. You're not, you know what I mean? That sort of thing. You can see it from a different perspective. You can, it's like analyzing things. You know, it's almost like as if you could see a little movie clip of yourself when you were 10 years old or something like that. And you're seeing yourself, you're watching yourself from a different vantage point, you know, because you come from much more experienced perspective, awareness, you know, all that good stuff. So there's something here about taking a moment to, I don't know why, but it's just like go back to those pertinent details and, you know, get the extra insight, get the advice necessary if there are things that you can't quite sort out for yourself. Okay, and or even where you feel you may have sorted it out, if it's something that's really kind of nagging or gnawing at you, going and get advice, go ahead and get a second opinion on that. Okay, let's see what kind of vacation your soul is craving. Four of Cups, simplification, and you know, I'm hearing, because the Four of Cups can speak to over analyzing and or like being just bored with the choices that are in front of you. That's what as in terms of a, you know, downtime and getting a break, it's about things just being simple. And maybe it's like, yeah, maybe I do kind of have to just work with the choices that are in front of me, but I kind of don't care. Just like make it easier for me by just giving me one. Don't give me more than, you know what I mean? It's just like if you have too many choices in front of you and they're all relatively the same, but they're not the thing that you really want, it's kind of like, I don't really have much of an appetite. It's like, yeah, but you got to eat something. It's like, do I really? It's like, well, here, you choose for me because I don't know. You know what I That's really the feeling that I get here, Libra. So, I feel like that's where it's saying slow down. There are things that are going to be shifting. You're going to get to where you want to go, but it's going to take just a little bit more. I don't know why, but I'm hearing it's like research and I don't know why. Also, I'm saying this multiple times, but I'm hearing dedication to applying yourself and gathering the right information necessary and or just kind of doing the right, I'm hearing footwork. And even if that right footwork is just sort of allowing for the universe, it's like I already done everything that I need to do. Now I'm just waiting on time and space, and I guess I'll just stay here and play with my food. Like, you know what I mean? That's just the feeling that I get for you in this moment. So that's where I feel with the Hierophant. It's about understanding that the key is in your hand, the power to, not stay stuck. It is in your hand, and it may not be getting you to that destination directly and immediately that you're wanting to be in, but it doesn't mean that you have to sit there and just kind of feel like you're at a loss either. So Libra, don't forget to check out your rising and moon signs for some added guidance. Visit with us, also girlandhermoon.com, to schedule a session of your very own and have a good one. Thanks so much for being here. Scorpio, we've got a Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse here, and this is Kapualani with your girl and her moon full moon reading for the month of May. So, Scorpio, let's dive in, see what we see. Full moon in your sign, as well as, again, that lunar eclipse energy. So, let's get your message. See what you need to hear from the universe this full moon. Rise above and mind your ego. And when I say that, it's not like a bad thing, because our egos are not good or bad. The ego is that part of us that actually takes the actions, makes the decisions, and, makes those choices for us. Okay. And so that's where it's saying, I don't know why, but I'm just hearing there's no need to rush and or to feel isolated or alone in your efforts, because you do have support. At times it can be confusing, especially when there's so much volatility on the planet, to understand like who is friend, who is foe type thing energetically. And the fact is, like, you know what? There is no friend, there is no foe, everything just is. And I don't mean that, and it's not in a bad way. What I mean to say is we're all friends here, but everybody has their good days, everybody has their bad days. You know what I mean? And if we can just kind of even step into that perspective, it makes things so much easier. Even if in the inside of that person, in their thoughts, they really are just toxic and nasty, whatever. They're a friend, they're just having a bad day, like maybe every day, and that's fine. And so, like, okay, cool. So I don't know why that message to come through for you in that way, Scorpio. But thanks for bearing with me nonetheless, because overall, this is a card of success. This is a card of rising above, and not only have you met the challenge, but you have succeeded. Okay, you have succeeded where there have been struggles that you've been up against. So let's see what this lunar cycle will bring into your awareness. The Seven of Wands. Okay, so it might be a little bit difficult, or it may have been a little bit difficult to discern and to stay focused on yourself and your own thoughts, your own creative vision, your own voice. Okay. And so in this case, in terms of what's being brought into your awareness, I feel like wherever, I don't know why, but I'm hearing like new challenges, but they're not about testing you in a negative way, or because Seven of Wands can be, it's a card of competition, and it's a card of having to really apply yourself, stand up for yourself, that sort of thing. And so this is where I feel like there may be some mixed energies, some mixed things that are happening that could be it's potentially a little bit confusing in the perception, like in terms of how you are perceiving things. Remember what I said with friend and foe? That came up immediately. And then when I, turned this card over with the Seven of Wands. So part of it is about understanding that unless there has been some kind of a direct, like fire with fire type thing, it's, like just leave it alone. Leave it alone, because it's likely that, like I said, they're probably just having a bad day. You know what I mean? And so it might be a little bit of a struggle, because it can be very tempting to want to reach out or to want to connect, or get distracted, even if these are positive distraction and not necessarily like negative distractions. Let's look at this on the flip side real quick. Yes, I switched gears like phew, just like that, which I know you can do, Scorpio. And so on the flip side, the friendly side, right? Let's just say that maybe you're picking up vibes, or you're worried, or maybe you are wondering like what's going on with them. Either way, this is a time to stay focused on you. Okay, trust and know you are surrounded by people who really do support you. They have your best interests at heart. This may not be the right time to really engage one another more directly, because everything's kind of a little woo right now, right? And so you're a very sensitive person, and you're a very caring person. And so in this case, it's saying really just do your best to isolate as needed, so that you're not getting distracted and putting your energies into people, places, or situations that are just going to be draining. So what you may need to revisit, yeah, the Father of Wands, see the bigger picture rather than get caught up in the short term frustrations and challenges. Take a step back and take a look at the bigger picture of where you ultimately would like to self navigate. Where do you want to see things going? And how can you focus and take responsibility and ownership for your voice, for your actions, okay? And so it's about empowering yourself and really connecting to that psychic vision of yours, that psychic, aspect of yours, because you're very psychic. You know that, Scorpio, okay? You know. And so in that case, it's like, don't jump to any conclusions. Don't worry about it. Okay, don't worry, blah, 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 about the short term frustrations right now. Look at the bigger picture and assert yourself accordingly. And so, like I said, isolate as needed so that you can stay focused, and it's not so, you know what I mean? When the tensions are high and when the nerves are really sensitive and reactive, you're in a place where you know yourself, and you know your sensitivities, that scorpion tail is just going to psh, psh. When you're on that sort of level, that's where it's saying remove yourself and, use your voice where you need to, in that loving where it's like, hey, you know what? I just need some space right now, and that's all. Okay. All right. Advice for a smooth full moon. Yeah. Slow down. Self-care. Five of Pentacles is also about monitoring your spending. Okay. Monitoring your spending, because I feel like if there's a lot of stress, we might unintentionally like as a distraction. And in this case, it's saying focus on self-care, slowing down, and working toward, step by step, just putting one foot in front of the other to repair, to, again, like I said, how do you want this to ultimately turn out? You know how they say it's kind of like it's like the short term and the long term. And I don't want to call this a battle and a war here, but how they say, you might lose the battle today, but you'll win the war in the end. And because that's not what this is about, but just that type of analogy where it's like you don't need to get caught up in something like this, in short term frustrations and things, that saying and doing things that maybe you wish you're going to regret, or it's like, ugh, maybe it didn't have to play out that way, because again, you know better. And so in this case, it's sort of just saying go inward and take care of you. And again, stay focused on that light ahead, the vision of what you want to manifest and co-create, okay? Outside of whatever distractions and things are going on. All right. And now let's see what type of break or downtime your soul is craving. Three of Pentacles. Yeah, you just want people to work together. You just want people to get together. It's like, why can't we all get along? Why can't this all just work out? You are ready to have simple, like, structure again, just right. You know what I mean? With the three energies, it's past, present, future. And this is about things coming into alignment, and knowing and feeling like you can be confident about where you're at right here and now, even though we know the journey ahead is like, woo, that is an overwhelming mountain ahead. But you know what? Right here, right now, I feel good, feel focused. I know we're gonna get there when we get there. There's no rush. I'm in good company, and or I've got like all what I need to continue to move forward here. So you are on your way, Scorpio. Okay, you're definitely on your way. So hang in there. All right. And don't forget to visit your moon and rising signs, get all that extra insight and guidance, because this is a lunar eclipse as well. And visit us, girlandhermoon.com. Schedule a session of your own to take things a bit deeper, okay? And have a good one. Happy Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse Sagittarius. Kapualani here with your May girl and her moon full moon reading. So thanks for being here. Let's see what's coming up, what we've got. Okay, first up, what do you need to hear from the universe, Sag? Six of Pentacles. Okay, this is a time of, I don't know why, but the words community magic is coming to mind. I don't know why. Take that for whatever it might mean for you. But more than anything, the Six of Pentacles is about give and take, giving and receiving. And it's about observing where we have been investing ourselves and being open to the return on those investments, And so whether you are in a place of need where, this is a time for you to open up to receiving, or at least, put yourself out there in that regard where you've given in the past, one way or another. This is a good time to also, I'm hearing it's like, the word manicuring things, like when things are in development. This is a time to really reflect on the growth that's been established. So where there are interpersonal relationships, connections, where there are, just any kind of way that you've invested your time, effort, money, value, that sort of thing, this is a time to really sit back and enjoy and observe the growth and how far you've come, okay? And to be in a space where, yes, as things are developing and you're able to enjoy, it's like, yeah, the fruits of your labor, the fruits of your efforts are starting to show more than anything. So what will this lunar cycle bring to your awareness? Okay, some excitement about being right here, right now. And not just that, but things are really starting to open up, and it's like feeling as though you've got the world in the palm of your hands. You've got a lot more creative vision, or at least the ability to feel excited and motivated, inspired about what's ahead, the road ahead. It really starts to open up at this time, and you're going to start to feel all of that because things are solidifying. You're saying, okay, wow, I've really managed to create something that is rather self-sustaining. Like I can easily maintain and sustain what I have seeded, and I am doing pretty well with that so far. And so now there's a bit more of an ability to feel excited and to feel fired up about continuing on in this direction and in this journey. So what might you need to revisit? Not getting too far ahead of yourself and not being too overly concerned or fixated on the end result, okay? Try not to worry too much about like making things happen and what's needing to be done. Like with the devil, I feel like devil's in the details as well. So pay attention to how you are spending your time and try not to get too carried away, because the devil also reminds us to be mindful of addictive patterns, behavioral patterns, cycles, tendencies, things like that, where we might be overdoing or underdoing things. Okay, so just be mindful in that regard. Advice for a smooth full moon lunar eclipse. Yeah, balance and be mindful. Watch your, with the two of pentacles, I often am drawn to the sacral chakra, wants, needs, the reproductive, the sex organs, and all that sort of stuff, the choices that we're making in a day to day, on a day by day basis, okay? And so it's about making sure that the choices that you're making are in balance and in harmony with where you are going and what you're able to maintain and sustain here and now. And again, not getting too carried away with yourself and taking on too much, or letting too many things just kind of fall by the wayside for that matter. Okay, so it's about the balance and simplification of things. Just because you see that we've got all of these like apples on the tree, for example, right? Number one, they're not all ripe at the same time, of course. And two, just because you got all these apples doesn't mean you need to like harvest all of them all right here, right now, especially if it's just one apple tree that you have in your front yard. I understand if it's a whole apple orchard and that's your business, but it's a different situation. And so the point is, it's about saying take on what you can. You might have a lot of offers right now to do, for a lot of different things to open up. But it's saying again, the offers are going to be there. So don't get too ahead of yourself. Okay. So, excuse me. Let's get some guidance for what sort of vacation your soul's craving. Yeah, you're ready to take on the world. You're ready to expand on your horizons and to put yourself out there. You're ready to dive into all this new stuff, and that's beautiful. So just realize, like you said, take it slow. You're going to get there. You're going to get there, okay? And I feel like it's just also knowing that there is, there are, I feel like this deals with travel. There's travel that's coming up big time, I feel, also. So you know what, Sagittarius, have fun. Trust and know that you're going to get to all of these destination points. You're going to get to all of those, if there are deals, if there are connections and projects and all that kind of good stuff. It's all lining up and coming together for you. So be excited, and check out your rising and moon signs for some deeper insight and guidance around this lunar phase. Visit with us, girlandhermoon.com, to book a session of your very own. And thanks so much for being here. Hey Capricorn, this is Kapualani, and I've got your girl and her moon, Scorpio, full moon, lunar eclipse reading. That was a mouthful. It's been a mouthful. So I do hope this finds you well, Capricorn. Let's see what we've got coming up. Okay, what do you need to hear from the universe, Capricorn? Your message, Three of Wands. Hold steady. Hold steady. Things are underway. Don't stop, okay? There is still a little bit, we're only 3 wands out of 10 in the way there, and that's not a bad thing at all, because the 3 of Wands is a very positive and optimistic card. And I just keep getting this feeling it's a reminder, though, that there are still some things in the background that are lingering. So just be aware that however confident you are about jumping into the next stage, pull back a bit and don't leave anything unattended. I don't know why, but it's sort of like make sure that before you skip ahead to what's next, to the next step, you haven't left anything unattended or anything, you haven't left any stone unturned type thing. And I'm sure maybe you've already gone and checked that, and it's not to make you paranoid or anxious, Capricorn, but it's just to say to pace yourself, to find that balance. The ships are coming in is often what is said when we see the Three of Wands, and in this case that's where it's saying you have a little bit of time and wiggle room to take your time. Nobody's saying to stop and or to not proceed onward or whatnot, but it's saying that if and where you do meet certain what is it called, blocks or delays or things like that, or little obstacles, just know it's the universe's way of pacing you. Okay, pacing you. What is this, excuse me, full moon, lunar eclipse bringing to your awareness? Two of Wands. Okay, so pay attention to just the step by step. Like I said, you have a lot of positive energy ahead of you. I often say and feel the world is in the palm of your hands when you see the Two of Wands. But that being said, it's saying to be responsible in that regard. And again, the energy of it is be excited, but don't rush ahead. Enjoy it for what it is. Be present to the moment. Try not to get too, again, and it's, I don't know why, but they're saying just be present to accepting and receiving the good that is flowing through right now. This is like the beginning phases of the good times that you've been working toward, that you've been holding space for, and so part of it is saying while you are in that position, realize and understand, like take this time. It's almost like stoking the fire, because Wands is fire. And so it's like, you don't want to, when you're building a fire, you don't want to give too much or too little oxygen type thing. And so that's where it's saying, take this time to let the fire, like, be with this current energy and appreciate it for what it is. Allow things, allow yourself, allow the vision and the energies to build up and enjoy it. Be in the simplicity of it all. Take it step by step, day by day. Okay, stop and smell the roses type thing, and look forward to walking through the garden, seeing what else is in the garden, So, what you may need to revisit. Transformation. Yeah, like I said, I felt something. I'm like, I feel like there's something that's still closing out. There's chapters, there's energies, there's karma that's still being burnt off right now, Capricorn. And so I feel that big time here with this death energy as well. So that's where it's saying slow down. And it's not to rain on anyone's parade or to bring you down or to scare you, again, like I said earlier, not to create any anxieties or whatnot, but it's about allowing nature time and space, allowing the cosmos, the cosmic order of things, time and space, to properly shut down those negative timelines, attachments, habits, patterns, all that stuff. Okay, so we're still clearing out of old phases and chapters of energy. And it's not to punish you or to make you feel bad, but it's because we know how excited you are to move the heck on with your life. All right, so let's get some advice for a smooth full moon. Yeah, Father of Swords, self-discipline and being strong of heart, to not be so swift to react, but understanding how powerful that sword is, and that if the King of Swords, the Father of Swords, if that Father of Swords, King of Swords has to stand up, that owl means business. Just the gaze alone is like, whoa, okay, we gotta tread lightly, because even in nature, the owl with those piercing eyes that can see through the dark, it sees through BS, right? It sees through the stuff, the stories. And there's that intense gaze that's being brought forth with the owl. And so it has that sharp beak and those sharp talons, so that cutting edge, that discernment. But with that's why we have a respect for the Father of Swords, because he leads with the heart, acts with the heart. And if something needs to be said or done, it's going to be clear clear, concise, to the point, and as heart aligned as possible. You know, it's like, I don't want to hurt you, but sometimes the truth hurts. And so, as advice, it's about being honest with ourselves first and foremost. It's about telling ourselves the truth, and so that we can authentically be in our hearts when we do speak, when we are going out there and sort of, make, now I don't want to just say like making things known, or just how we go about presenting ourselves, how we go about directing our own selves, making up our own minds and our own decisions. And so it's about having that confidence as well, confidence that you are in control of your reality. Okay. And the air here, and like I said, you don't want to give too much or too little with the fire, and the air is what fuels it. And so it's about knowing what to say, when to say it, type thing, what to do, when to do it, and self-restraint. Self-restraint more than anything is key. Okay. So what sort of downtime is your soul craving? Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. Like, I'm like getting to the point. You want to have those new beginnings. You want to have a solid foundation. And let me tune in here, because I'm hearing long term. You want to know that there's going to be solid new beginnings that are there, and it's something that's meant to last, something that you can actually seed into the earth. You can actually water and develop and root into over time, and not have to keep like digging up again, or just not having to say, okay, well, I can't plant my seed here, or well, I'd love to plant my seed here, but it's just, or you've tried and it just hasn't worked out. And so it's about closing out those old cycles also of potentially, just the disappointments and the cycles of having to be the word, what's the word, like, I'm hearing transient, in terms of not being able to settle down, not being able to feel rooted, or you know what I mean, into a situation, whether it's your relationship, your home, your job and career, with yourself, and that sort of thing. So you're ready to just sort of like plant yourself, root yourself. Okay. So Capricorn, check out your rising and moon signs for some added insight. And check us out, girlinnermoon.com, to schedule a session of your own. And thanks so much for being here. Be blessed. Have a good one. Take care. Till next time. Bright lunar blessings, Aquarius. We've got your Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse here. This is Kapualani, and it's your Girl Inner Moon May full moon reading. See what we've got. Okay. What do you need to hear from the universe this full moon lunar eclipse? Capricorn. I'm sorry, Capricorn. Aquarius, my goodness. We got to work at that. That's what this means. 8 of Pentacles, Aquarius. So be persistent. Don't give up. Keep at it. This is telling you to put in that work in whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Okay. Take the time also to refine your situation. This is a good time to switch things up, changing gears as well, to recognize how far you've come so that you can better fine tune and adjust as needed to bring home those last 2 pentacles to make it a 10 out of 10, for example, and if we're going to have pentacles drop in at some point, right, we're going to keep losing stuff here. And so there's something to focus on, something to pay attention to, and to apply yourself in terms of keeping things going, keeping things moving, not yet settling or stopping, even though we look pretty good here, we look pretty set up. It's like, woohoo, I've come a long way hitting those goals, so maybe I can just take a break. It's like, nope, can't take a break just yet. We still have to work. So That being said, let's see what this moon energy cycle will be bringing into your awareness. Seven of Wands, yeah, continue to apply yourself. Okay, so there are definitely some energies present here for you, Aquarius, that are encouraging you to persist, okay? And it's going to take a bit more effort. You may feel like you've got a lot going on. There might be a lot of distractions. You may be up against, some competitive energies, people, circumstances, whatnot. But I'm feeling that there might be some resistance that you're meeting right now, okay? And you're gonna get through it. The guidance and the advice is to not get distracted, stay true to you, apply yourself, walk away from anything, anyone that's simply draining you, okay? Just walk away. All right, what you might need to revisit. Yep, Ace of Wands. Simply focus on your vision. There may be too many voices surrounding you trying to chime in and tell you what to do or how they think that you could do better. Like when you have a project, let's just say you're working on a house, you know what I mean? And the house isn't done. The house is 80% out of 100% the way there. It ain't done yet. So, maybe it's missing windows, paint job, all this kind of stuff, finishes and whatnot. And somebody comes along and like, well, maybe you should put this in. And I think you should put this in. It's like, you know what, sucker? It's not your dream. It's not your vision. It's not your life. This ain't your life. Mind your own business. Don't tell people what you're doing. Keep that stuff to yourself. And if they already know, stop answering them back. Just tell them, you know what, things are in progress. It'll get there when it gets there. You'll know when I know. You'll know when I know. You'll see it when I'm ready to show it. That kind of, you don't have to really even say any of that stuff. Just feel that inside of you, okay? If you want to, just feel that confidence, that fire, okay, Aquarius? Let's get some advice for a smooth lunar cycle, shall we? The sun. Yeah. What is it that you're wanting to manifest? What is it that you're wanting to co-create and bring forth? At least, in terms of where you are at in this point in your life, in this cycle, in this phase of things. I feel like when we see this energy of the sun as advice, it's number one saying to get out there and, appreciate. I feel like this is very simple stuff, but if you haven't been in the sun for a minute, get some sun or vitamin D. I feel like it's just connecting with things that are going to bring you joy, connecting with things, people, places, experiences that give you a sense of aliveness. There's just nothing but energies of relief that I feel here present with the sun. And so it's saying, enjoy and appreciate the efforts of what you've managed to create at this point. Stay focused, and where you may be running low on steam, go back to your original vision of what got you, on this track in the first place. It'll be really easy for you to not just remember, but to shift your focus and your perception again to where it's like, oh, voices, what voices? People, what people? It'll be so much easier for you to see things with greater clarity, to hear yourself again, and to kind of like feel good about your vision of things again, okay? So let's see what sort of vacation or downtime your soul's craving. Yeah. These two kind of go hand in hand. Seven of Pentacles. And so this is a good time to get caught up, to look back, see again how far you've come, make whatever adjustments are necessary, get organized, line things up. This is a wonderful time to also, if and where it is necessary. You know how we have our day-to-day habits and patterns and plans and things. This is a time to take a look and see where are 7 days of the week, because that's what I think of sometimes when I see the seven energies, especially the Seven of Pentacles, and we got two sevens here. So sevens are energies of personal inventory. It's an energy of inventory, and then on that deeper level, of course, everything deeper is within and personal. But in this case, again, it's taking that time to get yourself organized so that you can make time to enjoy. I understand how it's like hustle, and, making money is fun when you're making money. And when you're really in that hustle and grind and making things happen, I totally get it. Like, you can really thrive on that energy as well, but it gets draining after a while when it when things start to cycle out, especially. And so this is that time to simplify and to rearrange things, but to know that it's not time to give up yet. It's not time to slow down. It's time to keep going, but to get excited about it, to get really excited about it, and remind yourself again why you're doing what you're doing, because you're this much, you're just that much further away. You're like so close again, like 80% out of 100% of the way there. So slow down, take that time to get things organized so that you can bring in those last two pentacles with so much more effortlessness and ease, yeah. So Aquarius, check out your moon and rising signs for some deeper insight and guidance. And visit us, girlundermoon.com, to book a session of your very own. Okay, so take care, have a good one. Thank you for being here. Hey Pisces, this is Kapualani, and I'm here with your girl and her moon, Scorpio, full moon, lunar eclipse reading. This was a long one. Let's see what we've got, Pisces. All right. See what you need to hear from the universe, your message from the universe, this full moon, Pisces. Strength. So, real simple, not to be basic, but I heard stay strong. There are some things that you may have been going over, that may have been going on going through your mind back and forth, that you've been contemplating, and it might be a struggle right now in terms of just, as they say, holding your horses and not getting ahead of yourself, but you're doing a really good job. Okay, and so it's saying stay strong, don't give up, have faith in your long-term goals and visions in terms of what you want for yourself. It may take a bit more effort, dedication, and work to get there. You may have to apply yourself in a way, but it's not going to be it's not going to be necessarily as directly as you would like. In this case, sometimes the way that I see strength is, when you see something that you really, really want, but it's like, okay, you either have to be strong enough to just apply yourself and go for it. And if it's not the right time or place to go for it, don't stand there under the sun sweating it out, okay? Suffering yourself. Move the energy, get things going, until that time comes to where you know what I mean? You can make it happen. You can take that step. You can take that action. You can, live that lifestyle type thing. Okay, so let's see what this full moon lunar eclipse are bringing into your awareness. The devil. So places, okay, anywhere that you're overdoing, underdoing things. With the devil, it's about fixations, obsessions, things like that, and when, like, in our mind space, we are overly focused on the end result, and when we're overly focused on tangible results or tangible, proof and things like that, when there's too much of a focus or an emphasis in that regard. And so in that case, it's also, with this devil energy, bringing that into your awareness, if and where that applies, it's going to give you that perspective and that space to say, okay, I need to, like, change things up, and or where it is needed, where it aligns, where it resonates, get the support. Reach out for that necessary support wherever you might be struggling and feeling a little bit stuck, because I feel like this is telling me you've come so far on your journey, and right now you might be kind of doing the same things over and over and over again and expecting different results because, hey, these results worked before and they're not working anymore. So what gives, and it's like, have I hit a plateau? Is something wrong? Am I going to completely regress? And that's where Spirit is saying, slow down and step aside from yourself. Look at things from that bigger perspective right now, because with these major arcana cards, yes, there's some very karmic energies present, and this is telling me that it's a much more expansive, bigger picture stuff that's happening. Okay, so let's see what you might need to revisit. The Star, another heavy hitter, a big one. Yeah, so where are you blowing things out of proportion for one thing, that might be sort of making you overwhelmed, getting a little bit too far ahead of things, and where it's like, oh gosh, excuse me, where are you possibly also isolating and sort of just trying to keep yourself like in a positive headspace and like, oh, everything's gonna be, you're just, sometimes with the star, it's like when they say head in the clouds, feet on the ground, it's like your head's in the clouds, but you just keep going higher and higher into the cosmos and you get carried away, right? Into the imagination or into the beautiful possibility that things could be, And so that's where it's saying nobody is trying to pop anyone's balloon, burst anyone's balloon, or tell you that things are just going to crash and burn, but it's about finding that balance. Head in the clouds, feet on the ground, eyes on the road is what I add into it. Eyes on the road. You know what I mean? And so that's where it's saying when we look at the star on that flip side, it's remembering you are the star of your own show. So where are you struggling to really set yourself free? Where are you feeling oppressed? Where are you feeling locked in or stuck? And where are you wanting to see yourself? Where are you feeling, you know what I mean? Where are you struggling in that regard? And how, are you possibly isolating rather than reaching out, for that support in whatever which way you might need or you could use? Okay, so let's get some advice while we are at it. Some advice. Oh my gosh, another one, the lovers. Yeah, so, okay. Wherever you've been holding back, wherever you have been biting your tongue and not just stepping forth, and like if it's like, and this is not just about love relationship necessarily, I mean likely it can be and it is, but everything from the inside out. And it could also deal with business, it could deal with career and business partnerships, anywhere that there might be contracts, agreements, partnerships, to where you're taking something to the next level. So it's like if you have a really good friend and you guys decide that you're going to become business partners or something like that, or if you see someone that you really believe in and, or that, you know what I mean, that you really want to work with or collaborate with, and it's just like, oh gosh, what do I do? What do I do? This is a good time, it's saying to, and it's not that, whatever vibrates, whatever resonates, of course, always first and foremost with you. But it's saying that you're in this position to take the next step. You're in this position to trust yourself, to take that leap of faith, and or you will be, and so follow that guidance. Follow the steps necessary that make sense to you, that resonate and feel good for you, even if they're a little bit scary. Just sit with yourself and say, okay, because we all know, right, that there are some times when we feel fears, and our fears speak to us because they can be cautionary, they can be warnings. Often it's just about addressing our own resistance to new realities. Okay, and so there is a new reality that you've been thinking about and that you've been considering, but maybe you've been struggling with about how to proceed. And so now it's saying, this is a time to really, maybe if you don't know how to proceed, figure it out. And or if you've been holding back, go ahead and start to maybe get comfortable with putting yourself out there. And okay, let's see what sort of vacation or downtime your soul is craving. 7 of Cups. Okay, so clarity, clarity, clarity. Where you've had all this consideration, all of this overwhelm, all of this fantasizing possibly, or, thinking about, well, it could be this, or it could be that way, or it could be this way. You're ready to just have some clarity. Okay, you're ready to just simplify. Instead of having all these different options, the sun, that one. You want to see the clear water and not be caught up in the murky waters anymore. It's like, ooh, what's in there? I don't know. Like, stick your hand in. I don't know. Is it going to bite me? Or is it going to be a bag full of money? Or, you know what I mean? And so that's where it's saying remove yourself from toxic habits, toxic situations, people, places, situations, habits, patterns. You know what I mean? Just remove yourself from anything that might keep you in a space or a cycle of illusion, confusion, fears, doubts, that sort of thing. Take the steps necessary to get clear and to release codependencies and or toxic behaviors and stuff related to that nature. Okay, so Pisces, Um, Please do check out your rising and moon signs, get some deeper insight and guidance, and visit us, girllettermoon.com. Book a session of your very own to take a deeper look into things, okay? So take care, have a good one, and thank you so much for being here. Till next time.